This is episode 86 of the Nerd Rundown podcast. On this week's show, Darren, Morgan, and Bryant hit the trailer train pretty hard, kicking off with the final trailer for Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods. Our podcast's favorite female treasure hunter is in the news as Amazon is looking to bring back Lara Croft in a big way. Finally, the guys wrap the show up by discussing who's the most underrated villain of all time. Ready, hit it!
Hey nerds, welcome back to the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Semple. Eric is out to dinner, but fret not, nerds. We have Morgan Santo.
A card.
And Bryant Castile.
How are you? I mean, fine.
Good one. And back to you on that one, Morg. You can find us on our social media, all of them, everyone that there is, I feel like, all at the Nerd Rundown. If you don't like watching us on YouTube, you can find us on all the major podcast services. But if you are on YouTube, please go on YouTube, liking and hearing what we're doing, what we're talking about. Then hit the like and subscribe buttons wherever you see them. That will help the show out greatly. Had a lot of great interactions lately. That's just continuing to get better and better, and looking forward to more of that. So before we get to the show, let's hear a word about our sponsor, Combat the Chaos. Hey nerds, do you support your veterans and first responders? Well, here at the Nerd Rundown, we support our heroes, and not just the heroes that you see behind me that are drawn to wear a cape or throw a shield, but the real heroes who would lay their lives down so that we can talk about whatever kind of nerd we are. At the Nerd Rundown, our new sponsor, Combat the Chaos, is a veteran-owned clothing company. They donate portions of all their profits to veteran and first responder supporting organizations that are focused on mental health and suicide prevention. Veterans are at a 57% higher risk of suicide instead of those who have not served. This shirt is one of the items you can purchase if you follow our link to find them on Instagram at combat.the.chaos, or at their website, combatthechaos.com. And use the code NRD for 15% off. Now, back to the Nerd Rundown. Okay, now we're back here on the Rundown. As you know, we kind of changed things up recently and added some new stuff to the rundown or to the and a lot of that's just kind of giving you guys a little bit of backstage presence, I guess. In Wayne's World when they're showing their stage pass to everybody. We probably wouldn't have done this before. I want to start our what we call the round table. Start the round table off with a little tribute to my father-in-law, who sadly passed away 5 years ago today. Just an all-time great. It's one of the most amazing men you'll ever meet. Obviously, he was gracious enough to give me his blessing to marry his daughter, Banana. I don't know why he calls her that, but really, really great man. Eric knew him as well. He'd give the same kind of review for John Erickson. And, it just, on a day like today, I like to reflect and back and think, really try to make sure I hone in on some perspective. And a lot of that revolves around being a dad, which is my favorite thing in the world. And that's something you both are. You both have sons. Morgan, you have one son. Brian, you have two sons. But nonetheless, and I have two girls, so it's usually Eric that balances it out with the boy and the girl. Just think about, my own dad, who, he's up there in the upper echelon of dads with John Erickson. So, I was thinking about being a dad and how much I love it. I want to hear your guys' perspective. That's an important part of that about,
Mm.
we're all a nerd in our own way and nerd out about certain things. I sometimes I'm nerd dad. I don't know, dad nerd. So I like dad
Like a
jokes.
corny hero.
Yeah, I love it. So I'll start with you, Brian. You're new on the back on the show, new on the show. Not
Yeah.
new.
I'm
Brian's
new-ish.
also my neighbor, so I know exactly what kind of dad he is.
A
He's a
reoccurring
great
character.
dad. So whatever he says here,
Fair.
I'll either confirm or deny.
Fair. I think. I mean, I'm glad I'm a dad. I mean, it's super
Really
fulfilling.
convinced on
Part
that
of life, right?
one.
It's fulfilling, but it's also like, I mean, it's a lot of ups and downs with a responsibility like that and a love like that, and it comes with a lot of joy and sometimes a lot of stress and a lot of pressure to do it right. Um, my sons are 7 and 9, and a really fun age. Like they're just like right in the middle of a lot of really fun nerd stuff to share with them. We watched A New Hope last week with them, and they're both really excited. They've got a ton of Star Wars Legos and Marvel Legos.
First time viewing?
It was
A New
first
Hope?
time viewing.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got like this
Special.
whole like
Special.
plan of like how I'm gonna, because I've never watched any of their cartoons, and so finally I'm like, well, now I've got a good excuse to watch the cartoons, and so
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like pace them out with them. It's gonna be good. But I don't know, it's a lot of fun, and I have to say that like partly because they talk to their neighbor Darren here, and they've like elevated that like nerd is a good thing to be, and nerds are cool, and so they've even like built like little nerd Legos. They're like, this guy's a nerd. No, it's because he's into comic books, and it's like
That's
like
awesome.
no negative stigma for him.
Love that.
Yeah,
We had a lot of us had to hide our nerd growing up.
it's true.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just nerds run the world now.
True.
Morg, you're a big you're a big dad guy too.
I am a big dad guy. Yeah, being a dad is fun. It's fun. My son, he's 9, so that is an awesome age. He's ridiculous now. The stuff he'll say, it's just wild. But it's strange. You're never really ready for it. But I'll never forget when he was born and he was laying there and he grabbed my finger for the first time, and you're just like, yeah, I'm a dad. You feel it. And then you got the worry of raising him right and making sure he grows up to be something and do something great. And right now, his goal is to build the suit that'll take men to Mars. So I'm like, all right, we keep going. We're going in the right direction here, buddy. Let's keep going. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
What if he actually builds take
Oh,
this to
man.
Mars? That would be
That'd
amazing.
sick.
Pretty
That'd be
incredible.
incredible.
We've always joked with Morg because more out of our the group friend, which is basically all the hosts on the show. Morgan had kids first, and so when he had a son first, we all were like, well, he's the savior of the human race. Like, he's going to be the leader of the resistance. And
That's right.
we always have joked with Morgan that he needs to. Maybe we're a little bit at fault for you showing him the Batman. Maybe.
I'm just preparing him.
We kept telling you to train him up.
I was like, hey, Carson, watch this part in Dead Space. It's pretty cool.
Dude, there's some scary stuff coming up later on the rundown I can't wait to get to. But just big shout out to all you dads out there. I know it's not even Father's Day, but a day like today, a lot of reflection and sure our perspective is in the right place. So love being a dad. I was trying earlier, I was trying to make sure I didn't say that I was a daddy nerd.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we on
That's
the Last
like
of Us? Let's talk about the rundown. So first on the rundown, we got Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. We got the official trailer for the Zachary Levi-led superhero movie, which I love the first one very, very, very much. I think it's my favorite DCE. Sure. But I don't know. Morgan, I almost said Eric. Morgan, thoughts on the Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods trailer?
So I feel like it's going to kind of be like
I
Black
love when
Adam.
Morgan's conflicted.
Yeah, it's going to be like Black Adam. I think it's going to be a movie. It'll be fun, but it's just going to be a movie, something where you're turning your brain off, especially knowing that this is the end of it. Like,
We don't know that for sure. but-
yeah, we know that. Come on. Like, when he says Henry Cavill's not coming back, Zachary Levi's not coming back. All right.
True that.
So that's the only problem with any of the DC stuff coming out. Like I've said before, is just knowing it's literally pointless. Other than the Batman, that's the only thing that's going to continue for a little bit. It's like, I'm probably not going to go to see theaters to see this. I'll see it when it comes to like HBO Max. I'll turn it on and check it out.
Okay.
Have a few laughs, and then
Not a theater movie.
Performance was bad.
Not a theater movie then. So Friday night family movie night. Bring Carson in for some training.
Yeah, we'll whip up the R2D2 popcorn maker, and
there you go.
Watch it.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So I'll ask you then, Bryant, is this going to be a Friday night family movie? Is this going to be a date night movie? What's it got? What's in store for you?
I don't know. I am embarrassed to admit that I have not watched the first one.
Okay.
But for no disrespect, no disrespect. I mean, the trailers look great. I've only heard great things about it. I just haven't gotten around. I don't have any good excuse. I thought the trailer looked interesting. I've heard not great things about Black Adam, which I think puts a little bit of a concern on adding more to the franchise. I'm not that worried about the fact that it's not going to continue with DCU, or the suspicion rather, not fact. I shouldn't say, since we don't know for sure, but suspicion.
Only a Sith.
I talked to
deals in
James. He told
absolutes.
me.
That's right. I mean, there's plenty of good trilogies that are just trilogies, and they're still great, right? And they don't need to set up a whole universe. And so, like, I don't have a problem with it being standalone of whatever DC's going to do next. I thought the trailer looked good, and if nothing else, it like reminds me that, like, oh yeah, I never saw that first one and I wanted to. I think probably would put that first one into a Friday night rotation, and
there you go.
I'd
take it from there.
Check it out. Fun. It's a good one for the kids. It's got that good humor.
It's a Marvel movie in DC makeup.
It's big with superheroes, right? Like that's what it.
It's just, it's not as dark and grim as everything else. Yeah. Dark and grim as everything.
Except for when that one guy, or when everybody starts getting their heads bit off, that kind of came out of nowhere. So keep that in mind if you go to watch it.
All right.
There's a scene where a couple of dudes get their heads bit off.
All right. I have to remind my sons not to reenact everything.
Yeah.
Stop biting your brother's head off.
It's Morgan's kid that's in training, not yours, Brian. You don't need to show him that.
Kids learn to bite heads off. You never know.
Yeah. I thought the trailer. Now I can see why there was criticism out there for this. There was an immediate criticism around, oh, they showed the whole movie in the trailer, which, well, I hate when nerds say that. When has that ever been the case? Never. I just dealt in absolutes. I don't want to deal in absolutes. 99% of
even Yoda deals with absolutes. So.
Yoda can also lift an X-wing above his head, so
I could too if it was real.
He can deal with absolutes. But yeah, I don't know. When that was over, I was like, it felt like I showed a lot, but not an insane amount. There was no like extended scenes like usually is in trailer. So it felt like it showed a lot. Anyway, I'm excited. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters. I will want to. I will, if I can make it happen, I will say that. All right. Next on the rundown, Tomb Raider universe is being built out over at Bryant's home since he works at Amazon. So basically, since you work at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically in my house.
Amazon's next door. The Tomb Raider universe is being built out at Amazon, in several different ways. I'm using air quotes here. They want a MCU or Marvel style universe built out through the TV show, movie, and video game. So big news, because this also is the second biggest investment from Amazon property, right behind Lord of the Rings. I don't know if they'll spend $1 billion on Tomb Raider, but man, big news. I'll start with you, Mr. Amazon. What do you think about the Tomb Raider universe being built out in TV, movie, and video game? And then Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the one who is writing the TV series. So she's not going to be Lara Croft.
Okay.
She's not going to be Lara Croft, but she could play a part. Why wouldn't she? She's
Who's Phoebe?
Huge name. So Phoebe Waller-Bridge you'll see her this year in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
That's right. Okay.
She made it big in Fleabag. I think she even won an Emmy for that. She wrote it and starred in it. Played the robot in Solo.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I feel like she was in something that was scary.
I don't remember, but she's a big name out there now.
Yeah.
In both writing and she wrote No Time to Die. Which crazy. Like, that's weird to think that she wrote that movie, which was the final Craig Bond movie. So big name. Now is this going to be one of those where, like, please watch it so I can make sure I have a job, right?
Yes, please. Perpetually, if it's on Amazon Prime, just like help me out so we don't have more land. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that in podcast form.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess. I think she's a really interesting and cool choice to head up the project. I think that is probably the most exciting thing about it. I think she'll bring a really interesting perspective to the character. I don't know a ton about the Lara. Say that again.
I was just gonna say she's funny too. So
she makes a great robot. I mean,
that robot was actually really funny.
Oh yeah,
it really was.
What was her name?
Probably best part of that movie, besides Lando's capes.
Or just the love between Lando and the robot.
Yeah. So I think she's a cool choice. I'm surprised that there's enough Lara Croft material to build out an MCU style universe. That surprises me. Like, I've only barely played the video games. Like, I was never that into them. I did watch the Angelina Jolie movies, but I'm just surprised that there's enough there. I don't know if there's enough there, but it surprises me as the choice to make such a big investment. But that doesn't mean I think it's wrong. It just wouldn't have been my top guess, but I hope they can pull it off. For the sake of my employment.
We like Bryant living next door to us. Please keep it. I should say we love Bryant next door to us. The big thing here that you just said, Bryant, was you're not sure if there's enough material. So I'm going to turn it to the video game nerd here. I feel like I've played all of the Lara Croft games throughout time.
Even the new ones?
Even the new ones, yep, all of them, and 100% all of them. So, yeah, I know. Kind of a big deal.
That is a big deal.
So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. But anyway, Morg, do you believe because that's a really, really good takeaway. Do you believe?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's enough material that they could definitely build out. Now, it's not like if they were trying to do an MCU, it'd be more like maybe they do the 10-year thing and that's it. You're not doing like a 20, 30 year, whatever plan, you're not getting that out of this.
Phase after phase after phase.
Now, I don't think this is a good idea in general to make the show. I don't think there's that much love for Lara Croft to support especially this is the second biggest show they've made or going to make. I don't think there's enough I don't like when it comes to like hearing this. I'm like, maybe I'll check it out. I don't really care. Especially the big trouble will be if the new Indiana Jones is not good and people don't like it. That's going to be a little more of a tough sale because what is Laura Croft? Just Indiana Jones, but a woman, and more updated for modern times. So if that's not good, people will be a little nervous.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, I never, I couldn't even finish Rings of Power. It was just.
Yes, you finished all of it. Remember, you have to watch everything on it.
Yeah, I hated it. So
I liked it. It kind of reignited my love for different conversation. But here's a wrinkle. So I when I read this, I was like, what do they mean by a Marvel's universe style or a Marvel style universe? I was like, what does that mean? It from the TV show to the movie, I can get, even if the video game, is tied in, that's still not necessarily Marvel. So I was thinking, oh, maybe a Marvel style movie is they start building out a TV show that's not around Lara Croft, but it's around Nathan Drake. I know, just hear me out on this. Like, so they start bringing in characters and different kinds of universes that all live in this same universe, and maybe they have to like raid tombs together or something. I don't know. I just was like, what do they mean by style? What do you think? That makes sense to anybody?
I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to think of who all they could really have.
Right. They're like,
Nathan
Drake, and then it's
Nathan Drake and Laura Croft.
And Indiana Jones or
right, like
Shia LaBeouf.
Just put Shia LaBeouf in there.
Shia.
So I don't know. That might add to the ability to have a built-out universe if you're bringing in different franchises. So just a thought. I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you think they mean by Marvel style universe. That's it for the rundown. We're already to the trailer train. I know it was a busy week, but it wasn't. It's a weird week for news. I thought it was busier than that, but it's just a lot of rumor, and I don't like to report on rumors. So unless it had some real clout to it. First on the trailer train though was a trailer I saw pop up, and I was like, nope, not. Yeah, I'm never gonna see it, so I don't care. And then somebody at work was like, dude, you gotta watch the Boogeyman trailer. It's really good. It's really scary. I'm like, scary can it be? Holy freak. That wasn't scary. That the way they played on the darkness in this trailer scared the crap out of me. Brian, I'll start with you. Did you get creeped out by this trailer, or are you?
Is that an either or question?
Those are the only two options he's got here. Like,
I was freaked out.
I thought it was creepy. Yeah, I thought it was a good kind of creepy that makes me want to watch it. I have rarely seen a Stephen King movie that I wasn't with. I know they're not all hits, but like I like the vast majority of them. And I thought the trailer did a really good job of not showing the monster. Like many subtle hints, even from like the like pencil rubbing and like cutting away just before it gives details. Like just really nice level of just enough to intrigue you. Yeah, it looked great.
Great point about, because there was one time person walked by, you could just see the beady eyes. That's all you could see,
like a cat eyes or something. Just like.
I mean, there's
also.
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Morgan, if you're training your kid, like you got to teach them that's not the way you check for monsters under your bed. Like,
oh yeah,
if there's one under your bed, you're in trouble. There's no way for you to get back up.
When I show him the second she bends over, I'll be like, "See that? That's dead. That's what we call it.
That's
either there's no monster or you're dead. Like
that's that's how you die."
And then you're giving up your light source. Like, what are you doing? Did I said that this is for the Boogeyman, right? I feel like I said the name, but just in case I didn't. But yeah, I mean, I still turn the lights off in the basement and stairs, and I don't look back. So It's that's the kind of scary movie I will watch in my basement, not theater. But I can get behind that. So the next movie was on here for Eric, but he's out to dinner. So Murder Mystery 2 kind of came up in conversation in our presents a couple weeks ago. Eric was excited about it. I was excited that it got a sequel because I haven't watched the first one, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. So when I saw there was a sequel, I was like, it's more motivation for me to watch the first one. Morgan, I don't remember if you watched the first one. Feel like you weren't excited about it. Did this trailer give
Like that.
change
No,
your-
so actually, no. Even though I didn't watch the first one, seeing this trailer, I was like, "Oh, this like it's going to be a fun movie." Like it looks much bigger
Yeah.
in scale than I would expect. I'm like, it looks fun,
Yeah.
and it watching that trailer makes me want to now watch the first one with my wife and watch
Yeah.
it because that just looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I, I I want to see Adam Sandler messing dudes up. You know, I think it's going to be funny. Whenever you see somebody you don't expect doing stuff like that, and it's just great. It's always
Yeah.
great. So, no, I want to see the first one now.
And Jennifer Aniston still looks.
Oh my goodness, so
Jeez.
beautiful.
Bryant, is Murder Mystery franchise you're into?
I did not know this was a franchise that existed. I was surprised when I saw the trailer. I was like, how's it number 2 already?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they make number 1 first? And then I had to go back and watch the trailer for number 1. But I mean, it looks funny. If number 1 was good, then and has gotten a good hype, then I think this shows promise. I think both of these actors have had as many misses as they've had hits, so
Oh.
I think that could go either way. It could be great.
Fair.
It could be cheesy dumb. I don't know, but the trailer looked good.
It was a trailer I was surprised by. Again, haven't seen the first one, but I know what the first one is, and it's not. It's like a almost at the level of parody to Knives Out.
I was curious how it would compare with being a similar genre.
Yeah, and I think it. I mean, it's definitely more of a comedy than Knives Out. Which Knives Out has some comedy in it. What Eric's he likes both. He likes the genre as a whole.
Yeah.
I think there's certain fans that like if they're going to get into that kind of genre, they like the comedy version, and then there's people who for the
They're good date movies.
more
They're
serious.
good. Hanging out with your wife, see other and watch it. They're perfect for that. Get some you get some action stuff. There's some comedy. There's some romantic. It's perfect.
Did you watch Knives Out franchise,
Oh, yeah,
Morgan?
okay.
I can't remember.
Nope.
You didn't watch either? Have you watched
I
Knives
started
Out?
to watch one.
I've watched the first one. I thought it was great.
First one was great. Yeah. Second
Yeah.
one,
I even watched
more time you get away from it.
I watched After Party, which is a Hulu series that is a similar genre of like goofy murder mystery. And I mean, it's
Who's
not
in
on the
that?
level of Knives Out, but it was good.
Who's in that
So
one?
like Tiffany Haddish is
Yes.
kind of the star, and
Yeah. And
what's James Franco's brother? Dave Franco.
Dave
He's
Franco's
in it.
brother. Yeah. I was gonna say Allison Bree's
And Sonic
husband.
the Hedgehog is in it also.
Oh right, the voice of the guy that looks like the guy from Stranger Things.
It's a new show.
He's actually great in it. And
Actually, Eric's seen it. Eric watched it too and loved it. So it was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
so I think that's good. Like if you like any of those movies, right? Like Knives Out or After Party, it's awesome to hear that Eric liked the first one of these because I think that adds some credibility.
That did when it came up in the presents and how excited he was. I was surprised. I was like, oh, okay, got to take this a little more serious now. The next trailer was a season 3 release trailer for Succession, a show I know you two haven't watched, but it's definitely at the top of the list for Banana as probably her favorite show. Definitely 1A, 1B maybe situation, but definitely for current shows, I'd say it's her favorite. She was very excited when this came on at the beginning of The Last of Us. So,
Wait, what's it in competition with? The one
for
now?
her,
Yeah.
probably The Last of Us.
Ah,
She's
okay.
really enjoying
Good.
that.
Good.
I would say I don't,
I just wanted to see what the other favorite
I mean-
was because that helps me
mean-
judge the.
I'd say Bridgerton's up there. For her, which I enjoyed, and it's a show you don't take serious, but it's a great show. It's an easy show to like get, for the contract. So anyway, we are getting Succession on March 26th, season 3. Cannot wait. Great family drama. When dramas are the best, it's all about family. Another show that Morgan hasn't watched for probably a lot of reasons, but we know Bryant has, and very excited. I was hoping Eric would be on so that you could talk about this and could take a drink of water. Picard season 3.
Nap, come back.
Actually, let me give a shout out to Captain Nutzel here, who just recently asked if this was going to be part of the trailer train. Lucky timing for him. But Picard season 3. I can't do it.
You got it.
I can't do it.
What do you call chicken in space? Picard. Picard. There you go. You happy? I did it.
Oh man, that was
You turned it into a joke.
I turned it into a joke.
You turned it into a joke. Picard. Picard's. I don't know if I'll ever be able to say Picard season 3, Bryant.
So I have not watched season 2 yet. I watched the first season. I think I liked it better than Eric did. But I mean, like all the new Star Treks have had some ups and downs. I like a lot of the things that they have done with Picard's character, but I think what that character really needs is a triumphant arc, especially if it's going to be the last season. And this looks promising. This trailer, it looks like a lot of action, and that it might be setting up for some kind of final heroism. I think that would be great. The kind of like bringing all the cast back, I think that could cut both ways, but because the action in it looks so good, and Worf looks amazing. His gray hair, like, yeah, I think it's really promising.
He's the Klingon guy, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Man, of all the things that I wish they would do was pick up a Worf show. Like Michael Dorn, the actor that plays Worf, like pitched a Captain Worf spin-off show years ago, and they shut him down. And now that they've got like all these new shows, I just feel like it's
He got robbed.
He got robbed. Yeah, like they should use this to kick that off, because I think he is one of the most popular characters in it. They should pick that up. There's a lot of story they could tell with him. It seems like the actor at least was once really eager to do it. So I don't know. That's my biggest hope, honestly, of bringing all the old cast back, is that they'll let Worf have his spinoff.
So since you haven't seen season 2, then you probably don't know how Jerry Robbie comes back.
Jerry Russell?
Or
She comes back in season 1. Jerry
what's
Russell?
her name?
Or Jerry Ryan. Jeez.
Jerry Ryan. What did I say? Jerry Robbie?
You said, yeah, I don't know.
I think
what
that's
did you say, Jerry?
I think that's an old friend of
What did I
mine.
say?
I think I babysat for her.
Can we just cut this bit out? We'll do it again.
Jerry Ryan? Is it Jerry Ryan?
Jerry Ryan.
Jerry Ryan is it? Yeah,
This
she comes
is all
back in
my
season 1.
fault. This is all my fault. Saying the wrong. Jerry Ryan came back in season 1. How did she come back? Because she's from a different show, right?
Yeah,
Or
but
was
she's
she
from a
from the
show in the similar time period. So like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager all like happened in the same time, roughly, in the Star Trek universe, and came out all like one after another, like in our real universe. And so like she's a contemporary of Picard.
Okay.
And they
She
do some
looks
good stuff
good
with that
still.
in the first season, because they've both been taken over by the Borg. So there's some cool plots that find a common ground between characters.
Is that why she has
It's
that?
pretty good. Yeah, that's why she's got the like tiny metal thing.
She looks great. Wow, she might look even better now. She did back then, but also LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Doesn't he usually? Sorry, Mike. Doesn't he usually have a visor?
Yeah, they got rid of that in one of the movies that came out after Next Generation, where he finally got some like cybernetic eyes and doesn't have to wear a visor anymore.
Hmm.
Uh,
Butterfly.
yeah, but he
Green
looks great
Rainbow.
too. Like,
Yeah.
I can go twice. That's all right. Take a look. And then
In a book.
don't take my word for it. Watch it on Paramount Plus.
Well, after my latest foray into the Star Trek universe, I feel a little, hoity-toity about Star Trek right now. I'm
Wow.
joking, but
Rather shallow and pedantic.
I really do think Morg should that wasn't like a good
No,
tip
I
for
do that.
toes in the
Check that
water.
out. Because
Strange
if
New
you were
Worlds.
able to get into it, then I feel like
It was really good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
it's
definitely
worth it for
recommend it
those.
as a place to jump in.
Yeah, it is, and it's worth it for the last 2 episodes, which episode 9 and 10, I think. I'm not saying the first 8 aren't good. It was very good, especially it was like the first 3-4 episodes was good. It had a little bit of a mid-season lull, and then it went full steam in the last 2 episodes. And I mean, I was like heart racing for that 9th episode, which is incredible. So, I don't know if I'm going to get there on Picard because I feel like I'd have to watch a lot of Next Generation, and that's a lot to get into. But
I don't actually think you have to watch Next Generation
no,
to get Picard. So season 1, like they give you enough exposition of like what happened with his character, and they introduce a ton of new characters. So like, I think you'd be okay jumping in without
okay.
having watched Next Generation.
When I first watched this trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is just taking over somebody else's show to bring back all the Next Generation characters." And then I was like, "Wait, they all came from the Next Generation." So I was like, "Oh, okay, it's just like
Right.
Next Generation 2," kind of. But it feels like last trailer on the trailer train. Holy cow! Cannot wait for this movie. This my hype was pretty good before, but now it's skyrocketed, and I cannot wait. Brian, what did you think of the trailer for 65? Actually, I'll go to Morgan. Morgan didn't have
sorry, Brian.
a lot to say about the
Yeah, I know. I think this is going to be a blast. This one. So so it is humans discovering Earth 65 million years ago, based on the words used in the trailer,
right?
So that's interesting. I'm hoping we get a little bit of lore, whether it's through dreams or something while he's sleeping. Like kind of what happens, what leads them there. Just to see that. But no, I'm looking forward to see Kylo Ren fighting some dinosaurs, and we're getting one of my favorite story types of the guy needs to become a pseudo dad essentially and protect the kid and take care of them and get them to where they it's just a movie about a man that just needs to be a man and survive and protect this kid. Like and so it'll be a good one for my son to watch too, because I think this will actually teach him some survival skills for dinosaurs and kids. That's
the dad genre. Yeah, like the dad genre.
It's like the unwitting dad, the unexpected dad.
Unexpected dad. Because the unexpected hero is usually a story, but unexpected dad, that also makes it sound like he's having a kid without knowing about it. So
that might be too common of a story to call it that.
Little crossover
special. That's
between dad genres there. Brian, are you thinking 65 is going to be on your to-do list?
I think so. Kelly watched this trailer even before I did and thought it looked cool, and so that is
there we go.
That's
a pretty good bet for a date night movie theater night. So,
absolutely.
I thought it looked good.
Call the grandparents.
I remember you guys. Sorry, the grandparents. Yeah, for sure. Send them, bring them over here. So it'll be good. Show.
What were you going to say there, Brian?
I'm just reminiscing of listening to you guys talk about this show before with, I don't know if it was the first trailer or a teaser trailer, and like having some kind of debate about whether it was time travel or
Yeah.
not,
Yeah,
whether they were
yeah.
humans or not. Pretty good.
I was
I
thinking,
think-
But
gotta
we
be
still
time
don't know
travel,
what the
right?
heck's going on. Right? Would be,
It only confused me more. Exactly what Mark said is like that wording was humans found dinosaurs 65 million years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Pretty
time
crazy.
travel. I'm pretty sure it's time travel.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's humans
There's multiple
are an alien
universe.
race. I think they're doing humans are an alien race.
Also could be. Could be time travel, and then they land here, and then they actually die, and the movie ends with a sad ending, and then just like a post-credit scene where some modern humans find their space age weapons, like in an archaeological dig site or something, paleontological. I don't know.
It's going to be, hey, our spaceship
I
crash
love that.
landed. We're kind of the last hope. We found this planet. Unfortunately, it's inhabited by these dinosaurs. We need to take them out. Not a comet. It's some sort of weapon that's used.
Yeah.
I
And
totally
now we
remember what the
start
debate was now, though,
life.
about the time travel. Because
Yeah.
Morgan, you said you were and Eric both said that it's like aliens from a different planet.
I think, yeah, I can't remember.
And I was like, well, if that's the case, then that's still time travel because they have to travel to our time. So they would be.
It's not time travel.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the debate you had last time.
Yeah, it's not
So this is
time
the one.
travel. It's just that this
Yeah.
takes place 65 million years ago. That's all. They're not time traveling.
Yeah.
So how is that
It's
not
Star
time
Wars
traveling?
a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
What if it's the
So-
tie-in? What if it's actually Kylo Ren and he's discovered Earth?
That is Kylo Ren. That's
And
what
there's
happened
your
to him.
crossover.
He didn't die and disappear. He actually
Yeah.
he just
right.
Well, this
pretended
is
to
just
die.
a
He's like, "I'm
mission
not
Luke
dealing
sent
with
him
this."
on. It's a mission Luke sent him.
This is why he came back so cranky. He's like, "Where did you send me?"
And Luke's like, I guess I got to
Yeah,
kill him. I mean,
Dagobah
he's
really sucks.
getting mouthy over here.
He's seen too much.
He's seen too much. So that was a really great trailer. Go check out the trailer. Adam Driver is his name. And if you want to call him Kylo Ren, I'm sure that's okay. Don't do it to his face. He's also really great. He's just a great actor. Like
He is.
anything he's in, I'm down to watch. He's really turned into a big star, and I'm really happy. A little bit of a sad part of the show. A little rest in peace. We lost some actresses this past week that have ties to stuff we've talked about. A lot of stuff we've talked about today, recently, are talking about currently. You know, so the first actress, Annie Wershing. By name, you probably wouldn't know that very well, but she starred in Star Trek. Which show was it, Brian?
It was Picard season 2, actually.
Well, it's Picard season 2
Yeah.
of I wouldn't say of Star Trek, but Star Trek Picard season 2, I guess.
Yeah.
24, Castle, The Rookie, two shows with Nathan Fillion. The Runaways, which is a Marvel TV show on Hulu before all the rights reverted back to. You watched it? Did I hear that?
No,
Oh,
I never.
And then Touch, which was a really interesting show for a short time. It was Kiefer Sutherland. It was like follow up to being on 24, and so they didn't want to make him an action hero, so they made him into this actor that does this. What was the show? It was like touch somebody and you know their memories or something. That
Yeah,
might
it was something like
Unbreakable.
that.
Is this the one
Yeah.
with like the red threads?
Right? Isn't that what it was?
I
might be getting
I
them
feel
mixed
like
up,
I
but that was
watched
Kiefer
it for a
Sutherland
short
too, but-
time.
Yeah, I think I tuned in for like a couple episodes.
Same.
So that was I mean she's been in a lot of shows. She also voiced the character Tess in the Last of Us video game, and we just, went out of the last couple episodes of The Last of Us. No spoilers here, but big character in the biggest show in the world right now. So she's an important person to this nerd world. And then Lisa Loring, the original Wednesday Addams. So, again, little bit of a somber into the rundown, but we salute you, Hades, at the Nerd Runner, because you've definitely made an impact on a lot of people here. So, Nerdbox time.
Do it.
All right, this comes in from
Do it.
one of the better Nerdbox submitters. Every time he submits something, I'm like, I love this question. Mike Hodgkinson says, "Who's the most underrated villain of all time?" You can pick movies, TV, comics, games, books, anything you want. I'm gonna start with the new guy on it. New guy, you're not a new guy.
Good.
Maybe you're a new guy till you do.
Maybe I'll always be there.
Until you do 10 podcasts. Yeah.
He's like DJ Jazzy Jeff, you know. He's a friend of the show. He shows up once in a while, and at the end, we throw him out of the house. Fresh Prince.
I'm totally flattered by that comparison.
Yeah. Who's the most underrated villain of all time?
All right, so here's what I think. There's some candidates you could do, but the one that came to mind for me was the Jackal from Spider-Man comics. And I know he's a top tier Spider-Man villain in my opinion, but like you don't see, he's not one of the ones that is as famous as Doc Ock or Green Goblin. He doesn't make. We've never seen him in a live action movie. But I think he's got a really huge negative impact on Peter Parker's life, and like probably with all the cloning, especially. I think he's one of the villains that has screwed up Peter Parker's personal life more than anybody else. And the whole clone saga was like in the height of my comic book reading. So that series is like it's a top
Late
storyline
90s?
for me. So yeah,
late 90s, right? Yeah.
yep, that's right. Maximum clonage.
That's a really, really great answer. Holy cow. Breaking love that answer. I'll have to let him know. See if he agrees. Did you want to list you said you had some candidates.
Oh, well, am I cheating if I list more?
Well, I
don't know.
I've got several in different ways.
I'll give a runner up.
Okay.
That was my son's pick, my son Peter's pick for most underrated villain, and I had to agree with him. It was also from Spider-Man comics, Jack-O-Lantern. My sons, they basically choose their favorite heroes and villains based on costume design, right? So, which is fine, like who doesn't?
Don't we all? Yeah,
that's right. So he really likes Jack-O-Lantern. But the reason I think it's not a bad pick is because Jack-O-Lantern becomes the second Hobgoblin and becomes the Hobgoblin that turns into the Demogoblin, if I'm not mixing up my lore. Brett King can correct me if I'm misquoting stuff there, but I think I'm right.
There's a lot of
so he's actually eventually a pretty important Spider-Man villain, but pretty forgettable as Jack-O-Lantern. So
wow.
I like it.
That Peter, I tell you what.
All right, you got to have him on the show eventually. He'll probably take my place.
I mean, it would speed the show up quite a bit because he does not give me more than like 2 or 3 words at it.
Plus, he's got to be in bed by 8, so that would speed.
Put your kids down by 8. Why are people not doing that? All right, Morgan, who list multiple of you?
Yeah, so my final pick was there was 2 that I had in mind. So I just kind of want to say my runner up real quick. Because it's one that's kind of controversial. This is a video game, Shadow of the Colossus. Wander.
The big giants, right?
Yeah. So you play Wander in it and you're playing these big giants. That's the premise of the game, but you find out you're actually the bad guy and you're killing these things and you're turning into an evil demon type thing. So it's kind of neat because it's very underrated, but you are the villain in it. And you don't realize it because you think you're on a heroic quest. But my overall my winner was Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. Littlefinger.
You think he's underrated, huh?
I think he's underrated because most people focus on Cersei, little craphead Joffrey. those guys. That's what the Night King. That's who everybody kind of focuses on, and you forget. Littlefinger is really like, without him, there's no Game of Thrones. He betrays Ned. Like he's the one that
Kicks it
really
off.
starts it. He kicks it off. He betrays Ned all because of just what he is, just an evil man deep down.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, all the way up to the end too. He has no redeeming quality to him at all, ever.
You'd get a +1 from my wife Kelly for that, because I was discussing this with her, and that was one of the ones she'd mentioned.
That was one of
also.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah,
Like
solid
that.
pick. I think.
Perfect.
And he does hold the knife to Ned's throat. Says, "Told you not to trust me."
Trust me.
Ned underestimated Littlefinger.
Huh.
He also has one of the greatest monologues in that TV show when he's talking about chaos as a ladder.
Mm.
Chilling. Good choices. Good choices. Okay. Mine, little notepad over here.
Yes.
So I immediately went to the MCU and I'm like, that's just where my was first. But I was like, well, if I had to pick the most underrated MCU villain, it has to be Sam Rockwell's Justin Hammer, right? Because everybody loves him. There was nobody who was scared of him, I guess. I mean, he managed to still affect Tony's life pretty good. So then I'm like, okay, you can't go with somebody that everybody loves. I think it can, but it can't be like the number one quality.
Right.
So then I was like, ooh, okay, who do you love to hate? So then I immediately went to Alan Rickman, Sheriff of Nottingham, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Like, oh man, can't pick Alan Rickman. I mean, he's like the best villain guy of all time, So you can't pick an Alan Rickman character. So then I was like, who's a badass villain in my probably second favorite genre of all time, 90s action movies, was John Malkovich, Cyrus the Virus, and Con Air.
Virus.
Nice.
And an entire prison escape from prison in like a very small cell through stealing a plane. How genius do you have to be? And he like murdered a lot of people, so scary guy. But it was his how smart he was what made him the scary. He wasn't even the scariest bad guy in that movie. Steve Buscemi takes the cake on that one. Ugh, that guy. Creepy in that movie. And even I forget the guy is like, put the bunny in the box. That guy.
Oh yeah.
That he says that too. And I can't remember. He was even a little bit scary. Anyway, 90s action is the place I usually end up after starting with MCU anyway. So that's kind of my thought process. Great question. Let us know in the comments who you think the most underrated villain of all time is. And we'll see where it stacks up against our own picks. Brian, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Not sure we'll do the recap tonight of The Last of Us episode 3. Long time. That might be coming out later this week. But we'll try to get it out as soon as we can, because that's the show we want to talk about immediately.
I'm excited to talk about it.
Very. So I need to get some water because I've talked a lot, which means it's time for me to say goodbye. Again, thanks, Brian, for coming back on. I think it was so right. You're one of the best additions to the show ever. I'll share that feedback with you later. And with that being said, I'll see you all next week on the Nerd Rundown.
Deuces.
Yes.